Hello, and welcome to Kitsap County's Department of Community Development, also known as DCD, Resource on Basic Land Use and Development, called Start Here. Today's topics will be stormwater management on residential projects. Stormwater management is essential during construction and post-construction when developing or redeveloping your land. Today, we will talk about the following. Why is it necessary to manage stormwater? Information you will need to submit with your application related to how you will mitigate stormwater and control erosion on site. What is an SDAP? Do you need an engineer? Kitsap County is known to get a fair amount of rainfall, with our wettest season being October 1st through April 30th. Stormwater is rain and snowmelt that, in a natural setting, is reabsorbed by trees, plants, and the ground. It is filtered and stored through those processes, resulting in cleaner water, adequate supply, and fewer or less severe floods. In the built environment, water movement accelerates, and absorption is limited, leading to less filtration and saturation. Stormwater runoff collects and carries pollutants such as oils, fertilizers, pesticides, and trash, which eventually flow into creeks, streams, rivers, lakes, and the Puget Sound. As part of the United States Clean Water Act and the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System Permit Program, also called NPDES, Kitsap County is required to develop and implement a stormwater management program. This program intends to reduce the discharge of pollutants to the maximum extent practicable and protect water quality. The Washington State Department of Ecology is responsible for permit issuance to local jurisdictions, such as Kitsap County. As a Phase 2 NPDES jurisdiction, Kitsap County must comply with the Washington State Department of Ecology's rules to prevent and control the impacts of stormwater runoff from new development, redevelopment, and construction activities. There are many permits available at the county, and almost all of them require stormwater management in some form. Our forms ask for basic project information that helps determine the type of drainage review and minimum requirements that will apply to your project. The stormwater management or mitigation required is based on the square footage of hard surface your project creates, proximity to critical areas, location in an urban or rural area, and cubic yards of proposed ground disturbance or grading. 1. Total disturbed area. If you are building a house, this would include your building footprint, driveway, parking, septic drain fields, and any other lawn or landscape areas. 2. Location of your parcel. The parcel search features a layer that will allow you to determine if your property is in an urban growth area, a census urbanized area, or a rural area. 3. Critical areas. Parcel search can also help you determine if your property is within 200 feet of a critical area. You will want to view the critical area layer and use the measuring tool to measure the distance. 4. Grading. The amount of grading done on your project will also add to the review necessary. Grading can be calculated by taking the square footage of the area, multiplying by depth, and dividing that total by 27. Any grading project moving over 150 cubic yards will also trigger a Site Development Activity Permit. Best Management Practices, BMPS. When implementing best management practices, your goal is to mimic how the stormwater runoff was handled naturally before you built your project. You'll choose the best options available for your project. The BMP worksheet lists options beginning with the most ideal. You can walk through the questions to determine their feasibility on your property. Some examples include full dispersion, downspout full infiltration, and rain gardens. These are all described in the BMP worksheet. Soil amendment. The Kitsap County Stormwater Design Manual requires soil amendment where native soils or vegetation are disturbed by construction or development activity. This requirement applies to all projects that create 2,000 square feet or more of hard surface area or disturb over 7,000 square feet. It applies to all disturbed areas on a project site except the building footprint. Hard surface areas such as driveways, parking areas, sidewalks, patios, storage areas, or walkways, gravel or paved. Areas within the drip line of existing trees where tilling may damage roots. Slopes greater than 33%, 3.3 feet of rise over 10 feet of length. Wetland soils high in organic matter, non-mineral. Disturbed areas include, but are not limited to, those areas where any activity results in the movement of earth, a change in the existing soil cover, both vegetative and non-vegetative, or a change in the existing soil topography. Vegetation has been cleared, destroyed, or removed by manual, mechanical, or chemical methods. Woody vegetation, including shrubs and understory, or stumps, have been removed. Grading, filling, trenching, or excavation has occurred. Ground-breaking activity has occurred. Soils have been moved or stockpiled. Soils have been compacted by vehicles or equipment, wheeled or tracked. SWPPP, also known as the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan. The Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan has two parts, a narrative description and a mapped drawing demonstrating the 13 elements of the SWPPP. 13 elements. 1. Mark clearing limits or areas of disturbance. Describe the extent of your overall project. Indicate the boundaries of lawn, landscaping, trees to be preserved, and any sensitive buffer areas that need to be marked. 2. Establish construction access. Describe how you will accommodate construction vehicle access and provide a stabilized construction entrance and plan for handling sediment, which has the potential to be tracked off-site on construction vehicles. An example is a large rock driving surface that will shake the dirt off the truck tires as they leave the site to eliminate the track of debris onto the road. 3. Control flow rates. Describe how the adjacent properties and waterways will be protected from erosion due to increased runoff from the project site. 4. Install sediment controls. Describe the best management practices you will utilize to protect adjacent properties and waterways from construction activity. 5. Stabilize soils. Describe methods used to stabilize and protect exposed soil from erosion due to rainfall events. 6. Protect slopes. If slopes are present on your property, describe how they will be protected from construction activity. Describe how proposed slopes will be constructed to minimize erosion. 7. Protect drain inlets. If drain inlets are on the property or in the immediate vicinity, explain how they will be protected during construction. 8. Stabilize channels and outlets. If applicable, stabilization shall be provided to prevent the erosion of outlets, adjacent stream banks, and slopes. 9. Control pollutants. Describe how pollutants, including waste materials and demolition debris that occur on site, will be handled and disposed of in a manner that does not cause contamination of stormwater. Potential sources of contamination include concrete work and painting activities. 10. Control dewatering. If applicable, identify how you will control foundation, vault, and trench dewatering water discharge. 11. Maintain best management practices, BMPs. Describe your plan for the maintenance of all best management practices. 12. Manage the project. Describe any phasing where applicable, address seasonal work limitations, and the timing of demolition, grading, and construction work activities. 13. Protect low-impact development, LID, BMPs. Describe measures to protect LID, BMPs from sedimentation. Some of these items will need to be marked on your site plan. Site Development Activity Plan, or SDAP. Depending on the size of your project, you may need a Site Development Activity Permit in addition to the drainage review as part of your building permit. Factors that influence whether or not an SDAP is necessary include location in a rural, urbanized, or mapped critical area, size of the project, connection to a public drainage system, grading activities, slopes, existing drainage problems. Do I need an engineer? Having an engineer with your Site Development Activity Permit is not always required. Some reasons why working with an engineer would be necessary include the following. Working in the county right-of-way or connecting to a drainage system in the county right-of-way. It is tied to critical areas or critical drainage areas where there is a known lack of conveyance or movement downstream or other sensitive areas downstream. Reach out to DCD. We continue our work on our stormwater documents to break down the components and make them as understandable as possible. The Kitsap County Stormwater Design Manual can describe many of these elements in more detail and is available on our website. You can always schedule time with our staff for any questions about stormwater management by emailing or calling us.